So in my last video I made for you, I talked about in order to succeed in business, especially as a solopreneur or working from home, you have to have some sort of minimum productive activity that you're going to focus on. This really goes for any company of any size. Management needs to be focused on a team or an organization having a certain amount of minimum consistent daily activity. Now this minimum is not like, this is not enough activity to reach your goals. Most of the time, people like to call it the grind or whatever. That's such a negative connotation, or the hustle or whatever nonsense that young guys like to try to use. The reality is you have to be consistent in business. Most businesses fail, especially businesses with only 1 or 2 employees. They fail because they fail to be inconsistent. I'm going to do an entire training at some point on focus. A lot of business owners lose focus. A lot of entrepreneurs, new entrepreneurs especially, are easily distracted by what we call the shiny object syndrome. Listen, I've been working from home for over 13 years. I've generated over $2 million on working part-time. You're not seeing me standing in front of a Ferrari. I'm not standing in front of a Lamborghini. And I'm not making this video from my mansion, although my mom tells me I live in a mansion just because it's bigger than any house she's ever lived in, and bigger, way bigger than the trailer that we grew up in. But what I can tell you is this: what I know is what works and what works well. I'm not going to sit here on this video and give you some sort of hype and smoke about some sort of get rich quick scheme, but I will bring these videos to you. My entire focus is to teach you a strategy or technique that simply works. In the last video, we were talking about minimum daily activity. That is all about consistency. That's not enough activity to really allow you to hit your goals that you want to hit. In order to be able to hit goals, you have to have goals. You have to have activity goals, focus goals, production goals. What is the thing that brings you business? So many times in business, it's about marketing, advertising, and sales. Every business is marketing, advertising, and sales. But what are you doing to produce those sales? What are you doing to reach those new clients? 80% of your time, 80% of your focus and your time should be spent on figuring out what, especially as a new business owner, what is it going to take to bring in new clients? Product development, all that stuff is a waste of time if you're not bringing in new clients consistently. So today I want to talk to you about having a daily goal. In other words, don't let your minimum be your maximum. My brother is the first person I ever heard say that, and it's so true. Your minimum daily activity, if you get distracted and you get frustrated, or some sort of small crisis interrupts your day and it throws your entire schedule off, you want to know that you have some sort of minimum activity you can focus on to at least salvage your day. This is the minimum thing that I have to get done right away. I think in my last video there was a commenter, Sam had said that he had a certain specific daily activity he was going to focus on, and that's awesome for having consistency in your business. But you also want to have a daily goal. Again, don't let your minimum be your maximum. What is your goal each and every day? And some people like to talk about my stretch goal or my bonus goal. That's a whole nother thing altogether. You want to focus on, if you don't get interrupted each and every day, if you're not going to get interrupted, and if you're able to work 4 hours, 2 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours, whatever your work day is like on a typical work day, and I don't expect you to have 10-hour work days 5 days a week. That's just too much. You don't need to do that much. But what is your consistent goal each and every day? You should have a daily goal. Again, this isn't your minimum goal. This is your goal. When you wake up in the morning, this is my goal. This is what I want to get done. Now, your backup plan is if you get distracted, something comes up, the internet's down, your power goes out because you're in a storm. Okay, then how can you salvage your day? Then maybe you can hit your minimum goal. What is your minimum goal? But really and truly, who wants to shoot for the minimum? So don't let your minimum be your maximum. You want to have a daily goal every single day. What are you shooting for each and every day? And you want that goal to be something that you can focus on. If for example, if it's like I want 1 new customer a day, well, you might not be able to guarantee 1 new customer a day, but you might be able to guarantee a certain amount of activity, a certain amount of focus, a certain amount of prospects or clients you're going to speak with, a certain type of advertising you're going to do. Whether I don't know how you advertise your business, YouTube videos, whatever, marketing, whatever. What is your minimum activity you can focus on? Maybe you're a freelancer. Then if you're a freelancer, a big part of your business is about completing projects. So, how many projects or how much time do you want to, how much of a project do you want to get done on a certain day? You might have different projects that you're working on each day depending on the project. For example, if you're a graphic designer, designing a logo, you could probably design 3, 4, 5 logos in a day, just depending on the complexity of the logo. If you're designing a full website, that might take longer. In that case, what I would recommend is the night before you schedule your next day's activity. What is it that you want to get done? Have a plan to get something done. A plan helps ensure that it actually happens. Listen, success is never by default. It is always by design. You have to have a design in order to have success. Listen, if you want to be able to succeed in business, you just have to have a proven model that works. And your whole goal is to make certain that you're being productive and consistent with that model. So remember, have a daily goal. Don't let your minimum be your maximum. This is Jackie, working from home. I live a great life, and I hope that you're living a great life as well. Have a great day. God bless.